Hey, good morning, Misfits. It is April 20th. Yes, April 20th, episode 425, Conversations with Misfits. It is Monday. And I guess this would take us to no, it's only the 20th. We got 10 more days. But it is Monday morning. I hope everybody's doing well. We've got 21 souls here who are excited. And again, if you just jumped on, if you go to interviews with Sean, that'll get you to set up your access to the membership site for the Les Brown Conversations. Part 2 should be going up there. And then there's going to be some other conversations that'll be going in there that'll be linked inside of that particular community from previous conversations based upon dialogues that I had there with Les. So hope everybody's doing well. Let's see here. Anybody have any ahas, awarenesses, or awakenings that they'd like to share? I don't need to share screen. That's not what I was wanting to do. And chats. There we go. So, what happens as this process starts to line out? We start to go back to work. We start to go back out into the world. We start to do all of these things, right? Now you're hearing the stories of how it will resurge and how you'll start to see hot spots of the virus again. And that's probably a pretty true statement, probably pretty evident what will happen. And so that being said, how are you going to give people some security, some assuredness, some ability to have a little bit of control in their own world? That's the question. What conversations will you have? Because the level of fear that might be abated, that might be going away, will instantly come back, because everybody now it may be getting closer. Now it may be a variety of things. Not to be doom and gloom, but this is just the reality of it. We start going back out. We start mingling with each other again. There will be some flare-ups. And so the question is A, how do you protect yourself? How do you not let ego cause you to not protect yourself, right? Well, I'm not going to wear a mask, or I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to do that. That's just based upon the virus. Then how do you deal with people who struggled through this particular moment in time without having their plan B in place? See, how many of you know the story of the ostrich, right? What does the ostrich do when it gets nervous or gets scared? Now, I don't know if it does this, but I know that's the story we learned from grade school, right? If an ostrich gets scared, it sticks its head in the sand. There's going to be people who come out of this that maybe they were talking to you about their business. Maybe they were talking to you about joining your business. Maybe they were saying, man, I need help. But they're going to get back into their job, back into that a little bit of sanity, a little bit of normalcy, a little bit of, I remember this. Isn't this like the old story? You know what the hard part is going to be for us? Is that we've seen it. We've been there. We've been through it. We know what it's like. If you've ever counted on your company's income to take care of your family, maybe you're there now. Maybe that's your full-time income. But if you've ever counted on something and it disappeared and then it comes back, you can easily be lulled into a false sense of security. This goes back to the phrase, putting authority in things you have no authority over. Yeah. Can you quit your job? Yes. Can you quit your company? Yes. Do you have authority over that? Yes. Do you even have authority over your company? It's why it would be so critical for you to continue to build your community, build your, I don't want to say build your brand, because if you don't have any awareness, if people are not aware of you, building your brand it takes up a lot of energy. But do you have your little mission statement, vision statement? Do you have your tagline? What are you known for? What do people refer you as? To refer to you as? How could somebody refer you? Why would they refer you? Think about that. Why would somebody refer you right now, today? If you said, listen, I would like to get 10 referrals today. Would anybody know why they should refer you to anyone? What's that talent, that skill that you have, that you are capable of, that you do so well, that would give people the confidence to go, oh, I know somebody who needs you because of fill in the blank. Every one of you have a talent or skill that people can use. There's no doubt about that. Maybe it's not your business. Maybe it's how to make an apple pie. Maybe it is how to sew masks. Maybe it is how to do research. What's the talent or skill you have that's referable? And you start to understand why people would talk about you. What is it that you do that gives people a reason to speak about? I know some of the women on here have started doing some women calls of just training and conversation and community. That's pretty powerful. Some of the guys on here have done some guy calls. Have you done any dad calls? What are dads doing together? Have you done any mom calls? I don't know. I'm just trying to throw things out because right now, the amount of fear that's ramping up, it's ramping up. Because again, the amount of, and I hope I'm totally off base on this, but the fear of people running out of things, running out of options. And when people run out of options, they run into a shame-based mindset, and shame is what kills people. Because they've tried everything they could, but they've just run out of solutions, they've run out of options, they've run out of possibilities. There are people praying for you to make a phone call to them right now. If you do any market research, the number one thing searched for the last 7 weeks, 8 weeks on Google is make money from home. By far the single largest search. Right? Because all those people that had a side gig, right? Eatsy. Now those food deliveries are going up. Right? They're not, I know we've ordered stuff here recently, and there's not even a hint of bashfulness when they say, how much tip would you like to add for the driver? It used to be $5 or 10% of the check, or they're now asking out loud without it being when they show up at the door, leave a tip, right? They're wanting to add that to the card beforehand, because these people, a lot of people aren't ordering food delivery, but there's a lot more that are. But the whole point is that the whole process has changed. Show up, drop off, leave it at the doorstep, head out. What in your process has not changed? What about you has not changed? What's the thing about you that people are still going to be looking for? What is your vision statement? What is your mission statement? What is your tagline? If people are hungry, looking for business from home, if I look at your social media, do I know you can help me make money from home? How many people did you help in the last week? How many people on your team were helped in the last week? If it's not your story, borrow somebody's story. For those of you that just recently joined us, the Les Brown interview, if you go to interviewswithsean.com, fill out the email, check your email, you'll get your login information in your email, and then you can go back in, log in and see part 1, and I think the 3-hour conversation is tagged there as well. And then part 2 of the conversation will be up there in a little bit, probably, hopefully to have it up there this afternoon. But so right now, here we are, more than halfway through the month. What's your business at? Is your business volume up? Are your enrollments up? Are your orders up? Are your orders in your business up? If not, then the story's not being told, because right now it is absolutely, it's a free-for-all for us. What are people looking for? How to make money from home. Hey, Nikki, good morning. Shardia, good to have you here. What are people looking for? How to make money from home. What are they really looking for? Somebody who's got the ability to show a little bit of, to show that they're standing calm at the wheel and that they're actually helping people right now. Because if you're not telling the story, if you're not telling the story of what's happening in your community, meaning your business community, and you're trying to tell the story about you, and you don't really have a whole lot, that's going to be a challenge. Last week, so from last Monday to this Monday, so all last week and the weekend, how many meetings went on in your business? How many events did you have in your business? How many chances did people have to reach out to hear your story, to hear your company's story? And then how many enrolled? Those are your numbers. Do you know your numbers? Do you either need more invites or do you need more opportunities to present? Opportunities to present can get diluted real quick because there's no excitement behind it. There's no anticipation behind it if they're happening every 10 minutes. Meaning, are you doing it 2, 3, 4 times a day? That may not be a good solution because then there's like, well, I'll just catch the next one. I'll just catch the next one. Think about your business right now. What are you doing to give people a chance to breathe again? To say, okay, this makes sense. Because the dialogue to use now, you can scare people into your business, absolutely. And there's some companies who are doing that. They're already seeing the retention not hold from the way they were brought in. I've gotten a couple of calls already going, well, we had some of our biggest months, some of our biggest weeks, and now all of a sudden those people are running out the back door. What's going on? I said, it's very simple. They got inside the house of mirrors and they started looking around and didn't see much more than themselves, and they need to find community. So, questions about your business this morning. If you got any questions, raise your hand. Ask me a question, an objection, I don't know. Ask me anything to help you grow your business this morning. It's Monday morning. More heart attacks happen between 11 o'clock this morning and 1 o'clock than any other day. So let's see if we can't help people stop having some of the stress. Hey, Ann. Good morning, Ann. You've got a question.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning.
So recently, some of the things that we've been talking about in terms of like progression for my business. So I've had to kind of conquer some of like my fears in terms of reaching out to people, etc. And one thing that I found in myself that I found difficult was holding a conversation. I don't know why, but I have anxiety when I hold conversations with people.
Okay.
Even with friends. Like, it's not just a business thing, it's with friends. Like, I just don't like text. I'm more of a call or like face to face. So recently I've put myself in the position where I've tried to get more comfortable with texting and sending people messages, and I'm having conversations, but I'm finding it difficult from having a conversation to bringing them into my business.
Okay.
Like, I just, each time I want to introduce something to them, it's always like, oh yeah, I've had loads of these come to me, or I'm not really interested. And I mean, obviously that's fine, not everyone's going to be interested, but I'm getting a lot more of them.
Sure.
And a lot less of like, oh, like I would love to have a look or anything. Like, I mean, for me, I guess I find it difficult to understand, because when the opportunity was presented to me, I was very quick. Like, I think I was the quickest sign up for my mentor. But so I found it difficult when people don't understand, like, this is such a great opportunity. I don't understand why you don't want to join. So it's a bit difficult for me to present, I guess, or invite.
Sure. Absolutely. So how long ago was it when you decided to engage?
In terms of like with other people.
Just time frame. Yeah. How long ago did you enroll?
Wait, did I enroll into the business?
Yes.
Oh, January.
Okay. So there were hints of this conversation, but the movie that you were watching on the world stage is a totally different movie than people are watching now.
Yeah.
So it's not a surprise at all that they are totally responding the way they are. It's not a surprise at all, because the movie they're talking to, the movie you're presenting from, is your January movie, and they're in this now April movie. So totally makes sense that it's different.
Okay.
The other thing I would caution everybody that's on here, we love to be able to say we have a mentor, but if you're having challenges with being able to connect consciously with individuals right now, have you asked the person that you refer to as mentor this question?
Yeah, I mean, he was just like, he gives me tips and ideas from time to time,
Okay.
but like, I don't really get a, I don't know, direct response to my.
Okay. So let me help you so that you don't keep getting confused. That is not a mentor. I'm going to call it as it is, because we keep using this name and they're not. It's like if I were to call you my mother. Well, I'm not your mother. Why aren't you my mother? You're a female, and I talk to you and I cry to you and I do all these things. Yeah, but I'm not your mother. Stop calling me your mother. I'm going to encourage you to stop calling these people mentor, who cannot help you and choose not to help you and choose to give you tips and advices that do not serve you. That is not a mentor. A mentor lets you walk away with their wisdom and you succeed, period. So we're going to have a conversation now to see if I can't help you walk away with some wisdom. Would that be okay?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So you get to use the exact same story, but take the pressure off of them.
Okay.
So you could say, give me the name of somebody, maybe that just a first name of somebody you were talking to, just so your subconscious can connect.
Safia.
Say again.
Safia.
Sapia?
Safia.
Safia.
Yeah.
So Safia. So I'm going to make you be Safia and I'll be you.
Okay.
Safia, how are things going?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are things with you?
Well, they can't be that good because I don't know what world you're living in. The world's a big mess right now. What's happened in your world that's got you a little bit nervous? Anything happened in your world? I know, because I know I'm nervous as heck right now.
Sorry, just isn't that a bit negative?
It's reality.
Okay,
It can't be negative if it's true.
that's true.
And what happens is that powerful women, when powerful women get together, nobody's going to say my world's not going so good.
Yeah.
So if you're the stronger one that go, because how many times have you said, you know what, I was a little nervous, and somebody goes, oh my God, you too? I thought, oh, I feel so good that and they can finally release to somebody, because you guys, I say you guys, you gals, you ladies, and this is on a global scale. It doesn't matter if I'm talking to women in Nigeria when I did a training the other day, or I'm talking to women in the UK or Colombia, or doesn't matter where. Nobody's going to be the first to break.
Yeah.
But when the first one tells a little bit more of the truth, then there's this, oh my God, you're just like me. I don't have to keep the armor up. So,
Okay.
so listen, talking with my mom and dad the other day, I still remember when we went on our trip. It seems like yesterday. I took them on their 25th anniversary. But that seems like decades ago. Everything has changed, and I'm just checking to see how you're doing. I want to see how you're doing, if there's anything I can do to be of service to you.
Oh, wow. I don't know how to respond to that.
And nobody will, because that's not the conversation 98% of the people are having. What if you just were this human being that I'm talking to right now, and this human being that broke down a little bit here and couldn't understand why she had some tears here, but there's this part of you that just absolutely has this desire to be of service to people. And yet you're told, because from a guy standpoint, just tell them about it. And if they don't want it, move on. That can't even possibly go through your DNA. That concept doesn't even, it can't even sit anywhere on a branch in your mind, but you can act it. But it just turns everything inside of you to this ice cold essence that's not even you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
But like, let's say they do open up and they talk about their kind of issues, etc.
Yep.
Would it be harder for you to then bring it back to business, because it sounds like you're selling?
Zig Ziglar, you ever heard of Zig Ziglar?
You've mentioned him before, or her.
Okay, so he's one of those great philosophers like Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar. He was the Tony Robbins before there was Tony Robbins.
Oh, okay.
Zig Ziglar talks about sales as the transference of enthusiasm. Now, enthusiasm means ethos, the God within. So here's where it becomes salesy. Oh, you're having a shitty day? I could fix that for you. That's salesy. Safia, things are a little bit nervous right now. I mean, how are you doing? Are you still being able to work? Are you able to work from home? Is that stuff still, or are you like a lot of my friends who got furloughed? Listen, I don't know. At some point in the future, I would love to have a conversation about you, because I and some of my friends have been able to really help some people out of some tight situations. I doubt it's for you. It's probably not for you, but I know we're friends, and I kind of, we have a relationship. It may not be, best friends forever, but I'm just reaching out to people right now who are trying to figure out which way is up, to show them something, to share with them something that possibly might be a solution to them. I doubt it's for you, but it's been working for some of my other friends. And if you ever want to have a take a look at it, that'd be great.
Wow. Okay.
But just connect with them as a human being. I have friends of mine who own businesses. They're dear friends.
Yeah.
And I've called them up and I said, listen, I know you'd never want to do what I do, But what you're doing right now ain't working. It's just not. You may have gotten your SBA loan. You may have gotten stuff to pay for the 10 employees, and you're just frustrated. Every one of your employees, the only way they can serve you is if they get to work. And right now, it's not that you're keeping them from work. It's killing you that you can't put them to work. You're trying to figure out 78 ingenious ways to keep your employees productive.
Right.
What if I could train them? What if you could bring me in? You've brought me into your company to do training for your people, to teach them how to sell what you sell. Can I now teach you how to do what I do? Can I teach you how to take your business from your 50-mile radius of influence, your global influence through mail, right? You do business through mail. People buy from you all the time. They buy stuff from you all the time, and you ship it out to them. What if I increased your audience size? What if you let me do some of the heavy lifting for you and your teams? Would you be open to that? It's a business model. It's a business model that works. It's no different. It's exchanging money for goods. You have people who are a specific demographic because of what you sell. What if I could open that up to 60 million people who are already looking in the United States for the gig economy, and half of them lost their gig, their side gig? 60 million people were in the gig economy. Half of them lost their gig. More than half of them lost their gig because nobody wants to get in a car and drive with them. What if I gave you your business skills and your business talents and your business acumen? What if I allowed you to refocus that into a place to where you could serve more people? Would you want to do that?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So the story needs to change.
Listen, you know, all I'm saying is suggestions. I'm only teaching you what I teach, what I do. Now, I don't teach theory.
Yeah.
I teach reality. I'm not giving you tips and tricks going, let's see how that works for you. I'm telling you stuff that I used yesterday.
Okay. Also, another question.
Sure.
You know how you said, does your Instagram show your story? Show your business, sorry. So because I'm a teacher, I don't use my personal Instagram because I don't want kids to find it, etc.
Yep.
So I've opened up another Instagram, and I post mostly like things that I've learned, motivational stuff, etc. They're kind of like quotes, questions, and things, but it doesn't obviously portray my business in any way. Like,
Okay.
it just looks like another motivational page.
So what business are you in?
Trading.
No, you're not.
People.
Yes. You're in the business of building people. As a teacher, isn't that what you do all day long? Is you build people? They're little people, but you build people.
Yeah. So I'm guessing I'm asking, should I change my Instagram page or no?
You can have different stuff because, again, being a teacher, you have to look at who else is looking at your page, right? So maybe your school is looking at your page.
Exactly.
Right. So you set up another page that says, you know, you can still be the teacher on the other page, but you say, you know what grades do you teach?
From year 7, so from the ages of 11 to 18.
Okay. So do you teach math or do you teach algebra?
I teach English.
You teach English. So you teach English. Do you teach English at different levels of English based upon the grade?
Yeah.
So why do they advance? Why does your English get deeper or stronger or more overview or more specific as they get older? Why does that happen?
To enhance your skills.
Okay. So in your new page, why not talk about how you take people like you do as an English teacher? You take them on different levels of education based upon the skill levels they want to create. You have a business model that can take somebody from learning their ABCs to writing novels of success.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't really want to put up, because everyone has like a Forex account, everyone has a trading account, and
So that,
I
and if I was a branding expert, and I'm not, I would say you've just, anytime somebody sees something they recognize,
yeah.
you just got dumped in that pile.
Yeah. So I don't want to be another account where it's just Forex. And mostly because I feel like that's secondary. Like first I want to be the mentor that not that I didn't get, but like.
But here's the thing, and this is going to be a shocker for everybody on the call right now, 101 people, 100 people. What if Forex went away? What if you decided to leave your company? Everything you built now makes absolutely 0 sense. You get ticked off. Yesterday, you get ticked off. You go, I'm out of this. I'm going to go someplace else. And you decide to leave that particular business stream.
Yeah.
Everybody that was following you no longer can follow you, because now you're going to come up with a new icon, a new moniker that you're building your business under. Now I'm into health and wellness. What happened with that global currency thing you were doing?
Mm.
People don't get it, and we're all sheeple, and we're all told, go put this in your account and go do this and go brand this and go do that. You're not branding you. You're branding it for somebody else, and guess who's winning? Everybody else.
Mm.
If you can't stand on your own 2 feet, tagging that tagline behind you isn't going to let you stand on your own 2 feet either. You're just branding it for them. You're making it easier for your upline to grow their business. This is about you. Your business happens from you down, not from you up.
Yeah.
So I'd go be a good teacher. You know what I love? I love that I'm able to follow a formula and a curriculum in school. They've given me one that works. What I'm really excited about is I get to give adults the same kind of curriculum for success.
Oh, okay.
Speak to your strengths. Listen, I don't know anything about your particular business model.
Yeah.
But I could ask you 6 questions and you'd be, I love you, but you'd be crying back to the back corner of the room going, stop asking me these tough questions.
Yeah.
Why get into a conversation about something that's not your strong point? Anne, is a strong point.
Yeah.
You're successful. Have any of these cold market or conversations of people that you've had? I don't know where this helicopter picture is. I don't know if that's front and center on your Instagram or someplace, or it's your what do you call it? Your avatar on any of your social media, like it is here. But there's a whole story behind that picture.
Yeah. So I guess telling stories and educating.
Yeah. So what if one of your posts was, as a teacher, I'd be curious to know what new education has COVID-19 forced you to learn?
Okay. Yeah.
Just some ideas. But have a conversation with folks. Are you doing online schooling with your kids? Are you still putting up plans and tests and stuff with your kids?
I mean, I am. Whether they respond or not is another question.
Right. So, you know what? And that's the thing. Before I used to have people in my class. Now they got to come. Now they have to have some discipline online. I'm seeing a lot of my friends lack the discipline on how to create income.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? We
Yeah.
all wanted to work from home. Now we get a chance to work from home, but because we don't have to go to work, we don't know how to create income because we don't have the discipline of a job.
Yeah.
If you're lacking some discipline on how to build income from home, maybe we should talk.
Wow. Okay.
But I'm sure your mentor already told you that.
Thank you, Sean. That was very helpful.
See the difference?
Yeah.
See, now you get to walk away with my wisdom. It's not a tip or trick or try it. Based
Yeah.
upon us having a dialogue and me hearing you, we formulated something that you go, oh, I like that. Good. Then I'd go do that and then report back how it works.
Yeah.
So that we can tweak it so that it works better for you.
Thank you. That was very helpful.
And as you enroll people in Rank Advance, I don't even get a toaster. So I'm okay with that.
But the thing is, the conversations and the scripts that they have works. I don't know how it works.
How can you say, what do you mean it works?
I mean, they rank advance, you know, so it must
Who
work.
does? Who does?
The people around me, my mentors.
Yeah, but that's their script, not your script. You can't use their script.
No, I'm not using not a script, but like the way they approach people is quite similar. Like everyone around me approaches people quite similar. I'm quite different.
Well, then you got to use a different conversation, don't you?
Okay.
You couldn't use mine.
True.
Because if we sat down, Ann, I'd say, so are you ready to get started? And what would you say?
Starting with what?
Exactly. What do we need to get started for you right now that'll make a difference in the next 24 hours for your family?
Is that what you would say?
That's exactly what I say.
Oh, wow.
But see, I can do that because I've got enough experience under my little cranium here that no matter where you go, if you wanted to start an art studio, I'd introduce you to 4 people that own art studios. If you wanted to start a music studio, you wanted to start a tow truck company, you wanted to start a global business model of coaching and training. See, I've got the experience. I can ask, what do we need to get started in the next 24 hours to save your family? You guys think you only have one option. If you've got 6 people in your phone, I'm sure there's one person out of those 6 that could be of service to the person you're about to talk to, but you're afraid to give away your stuff. Remember, I'm building a legacy of 600 generations. Do I need you in my business? Would I love to have you in my business? But we're going to have a conversation about you, ain't about me. I can detach myself from your failures and your successes. Because if you win, do I take credit for your success? If I do, then I got to take credit for your failure. Every one of you that are listening to this right now, if you take credit for anybody's success, you better damn well be sure taking credit for their failures. And if you ain't taking credit for their failures, that comes across in your essence, in your dialogue, and in your conversation to the next person that you think, I got to go get them, I'm going to get them. You ain't going to get nothing. All you're going to get is a headache and frustration, and you're going to get a retention rate that's about 5%. Why are we here? Ann, why are we here? I'm on a small talk diet. So if you sat down with me, I'd say, why are we here? Were you going to talk to me about something?
Do you mean on this call or on
No, well, it could be on this call. So yeah, just, again, I love you. Why'd you show up for this call?
To be better, to learn new things, to try new things.
So we're now 42 minutes into it. Can you put a checkbox in that and say, yeah, I learned something?
Yeah.
So would you come back tomorrow?
Yeah.
See, that's retention.
Okay.
That gets you to make this a priority. Because 24 hours from now, when it's time to jump back on this call, you're going to go, ooh, I got to go do this because that's of value to me.
Of value. Okay.
So the question then is, when you have a conversation with a prospect, can you give them so much value that they can't ever leave you? Or are you giving information?
Okay.
Do people know more about your comp plan than they do whether you have a dog or a cat at home?
I don't like to show people my comp plan, to be honest.
I can't imagine talking about a comp plan, especially the 86 ways you can get it on by Sunday.
Yeah.
Does that help, Anne?
Excellent. Yes, sure. Thank you.
Cool. You bet. One thing you learned, one thing you liked. What's one thing you learned, one thing you liked?
Speaking to my strengths. Mm-hmm. So seeing what resources I have within myself. That's what I learned. What I liked is the idea of, if you take credit for their success, then you must take credit for their failures. I can think about 100 different times that I've taken credit for people's successes and not failures.
This is why we just need to show up in joy, because if we show up in joy and we take credit for their joy, when they have misery, we then have to take credit for their misery. I got enough problems trying to worry about me. Awesome, Anne. Thank you for your question. Antoinette. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Outstanding. How are you?
Good. This is my first time being on one of these calls.
Excellent. Great to have you here. Thanks for bringing your energy. Y'all dropped some hearts for. Am I saying it right, Antoinette?
Yes, and it's crazy that you said drop hearts, because that is what my entire boss lady movement does every time I get on a call. I tell them to drop hearts. That's crazy.
You'll find out that I'm a little bit weirder than most. So how can I be of service this morning?
So thank you for the love, guys. I am an amazing, I would say influencer. Everything you're saying about branding yourself and not the company, that's what I do. I trade, but when you go on my page, I'm just the girl that makes money online. I mentor women. That's my movement. I actually have about, I know I'm 50 away from whatever the next rank is, which is 225 people. So yes. Not great at math, but I don't know. I have about maybe 180 people under me, and they're all women. All cool. Women. So that is my movement. I recruit about 20 to 25 people every single month consistently. Okay. And this is through social media ads. Now, I looked in my back office and I saw, my puppy's gonna go crazy. I looked in my back office and I saw that from August till today, I've personally brought in 230 people. And this is all through Instagram ads. So one of the things, my major question is, like in the last 3 weeks, I found a new system that really helps me duplicate my success. But my major question is, how do I think someone's mic is unmuted.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
So my major question is, how do what's your take on like duplication? So just I made a membership website, so now my boss ladies can log in and they could see how to set up their ads. And mind you, they are getting results, because in the last 2 weeks, I've actually decided to, kind of like what you were saying to the previous person, I feel like I wasn't a mentor. I was more so a leader. So people were leveraging me, or like, go on my leader's page, just look at her. And I wasn't more of the mentor. Then I started actually taking time out and speaking to my ladies. Like, I'm talking like 1 hour, 2 hour conversations. And once I would do that, it's like, boom, they pop the next rank. They take off. And I realized that's really all I needed to do. But my major question is, like, how do I guess, motivate those who may, let's just say they have their ad up, it's been maybe 2 weeks, and they see a lot of other people winning with these services, but they're not necessarily getting the results right away. My major question is, how do I motivate and duplicate at a faster rate?
Okay. So, couple of things. Welcome to the call. And
Thank you.
this first time we're having a conversation. Could I ask you 3 quick questions?
Yes.
1, do I have your permission to help?
Yes.
Now, it doesn't mean you have to use what I talk about, but do I have your permission to at least hear me so that it might be something of use?
Yeah.
Cool. Question number 2 is a little bit tougher. And if you love it, you're going to love question number 3. Question number 2 is, can I make you feel a little bit uncomfortable?
Yes, please.
Awesome. So number 3 is, can I take you out of that uncomfortable feeling before we wrap up our dialogue?
Yes.
Awesome. So out of the 230 people that you brought in, here's a tough question. You don't need to answer it out loud. Listen, you do not need to answer it out loud. I need you to figure out what the number is. How many are still active?
There are, oh geez.
Again, you don't need to answer it out loud.
Okay.
This is something you need to look at from your business, because this isn't how many people you can bring in, right? My daddy always said, it's not how much money you can spend, it's how much money you can save.
Yes.
Our business isn't about recruiting, it's about retention. Right? Because I brought in 2 people down in Latin America, and I built an organization of 30,000.
Okay.
So I speak from experience, not braggadocious, but that's not too bad. And I did that. How long have you been with your company?
It's been 5 months now.
Okay. I've been a little bit longer, 18 months.
Okay.
So 30,000 in 18 months in 6 countries that I don't speak the language in.
Nice.
So I say that to say, so now I've got your attention.
Yes.
Yes, right? So I say that to say, because again, it's why, how come 100 people are showing up to this guy? He's in a hat and he's got a t-shirt on and waterfalls in the back. What? I'm not sure this is the guy I want to listen to. I needed to give you a little bit of credibility, because your BS meter is quite high and you don't need to be wasting time.
Mm-hmm.
Am I pretty good so far?
Yes.
Okay, good. So 1, check your retention numbers. It's one thing to bring people in. I had people that have hired me. They'd bring in 1,100 people a month. 900 would leave in the next 45 days. Not a good system. So that's number 1. Number 2, the key is how many of those women, you've spoken to them, you're now becoming the mentor, you're now becoming the this, the that for them. You're filling in that hole that they have in their life. Powerful women need other powerful women. The question is in this new membership site, do you have the ability to give recognition?
Not on my website. Recognition in terms of like when they complete a task or a milestone.
They'll do the activities, but have you created the spotlight of the week?
No, it's a great idea.
Oh, shocking that after 22 years, I'd have a good idea. I love it. So create a spotlight of the week. And do it for simple things. have a theme to the recognition.
Okay.
There's probably some powerful women. I don't know. Maybe out of all of the women that you have in your organization, maybe somebody made some masks last week. Maybe somebody was on the front line. Maybe somebody has a mom or a dad or a cousin or a sister who's on the front line. And maybe you can spotlight their family.
Okay.
Right? They're first responders. Do you think you have any women that are out of the military in your organization?
Yeah, I actually have one.
So then why don't you spotlight military?
Okay.
Do you think it'd be easier for her to bring in other military folk, right? People who are part of the club, right? So just look at the ways. So right now, if you've got 230 people in your organization, or you're 50 people away from whatever the next rank is, but however many people you have in your organization, I'd find your poster child,
Mm-hmm.
the one who's struggling, the one who's just, they keep showing up, they keep doing the right thing. And I put them as that little kitten who's hanging on the branch, hanging in there, and I give them the Hang In There award.
Okay. I know
the reason that most people's communities fail is that we don't give them a reason to rally around something.
Yeah.
You're always going to be successful. You're always going to be the one in the spotlight. If you can get behind the spotlight and start shining it, everybody's going to know where the spotlight's coming from. So now it just doesn't matter who's getting the recognition, because you're the one behind the spotlight and everybody knows that.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So in 5 months, has any of your teachers or mentors guided you to that particular concept?
No.
No, because they're worried about.
I kind of came in and changed the game. A lot of people were using the same blueprint, like, you know, I'm a trader, you should trade, you should do Forex, this and that. But I've completely changed the game.
Can I let you in on a little secret?
Yes.
Now remember, what was question number 2? Remember the 3 questions I asked you? Do you remember question number 2?
It was, can you make me a little uncomfortable?
Yeah, you haven't changed anything. I love you.
Okay.
Let me be very clear. You haven't changed a dang thing. You've done what works. So you haven't changed anything. You're doing it different, yes, but you're doing what works. What works has been around for thousands of years. So when you say you change it, guess what everybody who comes into your organization thinks they have to do?
Same thing.
Wouldn't it be easier if they just did what works?
Yep.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be easier for you if you just said, oh, listen, we're just doing what works. I don't know what they're doing. I'm sure it works for them, but this is what works for us.
Okay.
Doesn't that take the pressure off?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. See, we've had a conversation now for 10 minutes that nobody in 5 months has been able to guide you on.
Yep.
This is why people, listen, just because this is our first time together, again, to add a little credibility, when I stand on stage and speak for an hour, it's 15 grand minimum, plus expenses.
Wow.
So why am I sitting here? Why is a guy from Texas getting up at 6:30 in the morning to have a conversation with people he's never met before? Because we need strong women. We need people who have a heart and are willing to give somebody the chance to have a life they've never dreamed of. Y'all ain't my business, but we're in the exact same business. The only thing that we do is we build people.
Yeah.
So you can take this, and if we never spoke again, I've given you lifetime tips and tricks and talents and techniques that you can use for the rest of your life in a 10-minute conversation.
Yes, there's no coincidence I'm listening to this right now.
Exactly. And there's no coincidence for you to raise your hand and go, I want some help. And so I'm saying this, I get frustrated when we use this term mentor and they can't even spell MLM forwards or backwards. And MLM stands for me loving more. Mentors leading mentors, making lasting money. And you all wrap your arms around that philosophy, not technique or tactic. Listen, the philosophy, Epictetus and the Stoics, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, Plato, they all talked about the same thing. Those are philosophies. The techniques, Instagram, Snapchat, MySpace, Facebook, all of that's going to change. All of that will continually change. But the philosophy, the principles, never change. You're using principles, not techniques. I changed the game. I love you. You didn't change a thing. There's 26 letters in the alphabet. Did you make any?
Nope.
Neither did I. Everything I got borrowed. So is it okay if we hang out in the same borrowed bus, but we keep adding our own flavor to it that makes us attractive to others?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm with you. Might you come back to a call tomorrow or another day if you remember we're having a call? Did I bring you enough value today to get your attention in the future?
100%. I will be on these calls going forward. You will see my name.
And this is just so that you know, this is episode 425 of these that I've done.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it took me that long to get your attention.
Well, I've been doing my affirmations every single day, just attracting certain things in my way. And this is just, one of them, I'm pretty sure.
See, here's the other thing. It took 425 episodes for me to run into Antoinette. Are you guys hanging out long enough to find people who can be a part of your community, part of your tribe, because your vibe creates your tribe? Can you hang in there long enough to find people who are rock stars, who all of a sudden in 5-minute conversation, you're like, dude, I'm with you. Dude, this is awesome.
Very true.
Y'all got to stay in there long enough to win. That's the neat thing about our profession. That's the neat thing about humanity. If you keep sharpening your saw and get out of the grind, nobody's going to join you in a grind. Nobody's going to join you in a grinder. They'll join you in sharpening your saw, in elevating other people. Antoinette, you're not even going to know what's going to happen to your business when you start doing the spotlight stuff. I promise you.
I'm starting today because I already know who my hanging in there spotlight is.
And so what I'm going to ask you to do is watch the level of interaction. You currently have a level of interaction, right? You currently have a level of interaction, and you know a percentage of people who typically respond to stuff. Watch the numbers go through the roof. Because you took it off of how good you are, and you're showing how people are struggling and making it through, and you gave them a chance to lift them up.
Perfect. Okay.
Cool.
I got it.
And I was able to help on that one.
Yes, you were. Thank you.
You bet. Delia, you got your hand up. Good morning, my dear.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Thank you for everyone that has spoke before me, because at the end, and I'm going to tell you my question in a minute, at the end is whatever God has given us as a gift. That's exactly, it's so simple. That's exactly what we need to pass to the next person that we encounter and we talk to. And I keep making it so difficult for me. Here I am, people tell me, I'm about to cry. I think it's my time to break down. I've been told, Delia, do what you know how to do. I was told in 2005, but that's a general statement. Do what you know how to do. And you know that I come from education. And I replay my conversation with my prospect last night, which dropped from the sky. And I'm going to tell you why. I didn't even know that this person was following me, and I'm pruning the tree outside the balcony. And it's like 6 o'clock. My husband is now taking a shower. So I said, let me go outside and meditate, because I didn't do it at 3 like I wanted to. I was on a call. And as I'm pruning the tree and giving thanks, and I noticed that my tree is touching my balcony, and I look down the alley or the pathway, and the other trees are not touching anybody's balcony, I said, gee, I am connected to the universe. Whatever I'm doing, connecting to Sean and Sharon and my husband and my kids, whatever that I'm doing, I'm getting closer to being in harmony. So the phone rings, and I never take a call if I don't know who it is, but guess what I did? I went on automatic, and I answered the call, and I said, did the phone ring by mistake because it was from Facebook? Or did the phone ring because you called me? And Julie goes, no, I wanted to talk to you. What is it that you're doing? And I said, very simply, I talk to people for 4 to 5 hours every day, giving service. And so far the conversation was genuine, and the conversation was real, because I was totally telling her with the best of the honesty that I had at the moment, that I believe I had, what I do. No, but what is it that you, look, I come from the world of corporate America. And I do have I go, do you have a networking company that you work for or any other business? She says, yes, yes, yes. But, and she was about to tell me that she was stuck, and I put the foot in my mouth. Instead of sitting back and breathing, because I did play the conversation a few times, and I'm grateful, and she might be on this call listening to me. This is a learning curve for all of those who can step out of ourselves. The reason that she became and lost the focus on me was because from being Delia, the servant, the mother, the teacher, the sister, the daughter, the wife, I turned into the networker, telling her how easy it is to duplicate a package for 7 days at $29 where you get $15. I totally killed it. And it's not that the model is bad. The question that I'm asking is, which I already know the answer, like you tell me earlier, when you ask the question, you already know the answer. I already gave you the answer, Sean, is that I went from the human grandmother trying to help another grandmother who's in networking to the verbatim or the language that is simple, that when the time is right, it's like when you put the right amount of salt on a dish. Saying that is a simple way to duplicate, because it's a 7-day, that if it doesn't work for you, you don't have to buy again. So you only lost $29, but when you like it, and you tell your friends because you're losing weight, because you're feeling better in your mind, because you have more energy, blah, 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 at the right moment, put in the right spices, and that's the spice. It works for all of us. But to chop that line when the woman is trying to open up and I don't give her the chance, I'm sorry, I did a disservice to learn. I don't feel guilty. I don't feel ashamed. I can get up on Facebook and do a video about this today, because what I discovered was that by falling down like a kid when they're learning how to walk, I finally saw myself how I can be earning. I don't want to say it because people are going to flip. But I can see why I'm not earning what I deserve to earn, because I bring it back to my agenda instead of sitting there and do what I know how to do naturally. When I do it naturally, I've helped people, not one. I counted in my journal. I have helped 10 people, 10, without company, without resources, without a business plan, just by being the person that God intended me to be. And I got them out of poverty. So there you go. I'm done.
Good. When you move from agenda to genuine, the world changes. See, there's 105 people here this morning, Delia, that I get to speak to right now, 104. And this isn't about an agenda. This is about just being genuine. This is about making, there's 300 million folks in the US, 360, 350. I'm okay. I built a large organization of people who I've yet to meet in Latin America. I'm okay. Why would I be giving away the talents, the skills, my 22 years of experience on a call in the morning to people like Antoinette that I just met in the first place? Because I'm about building people. And you know what? You know what's going to happen fun to me this morning? I've got 3 more interviews of people who want to interview me on their podcasts. So if any of you ever have that or want to do that, I'll be happy to show up for an interview for you or your team. You won't hear the name of my company. You'll have to dig very hard to find out what company I'm in. Why? Because it is a secret to be part of my company. It is to work with me. You'll figure it out because of my associations. But if you want to work with me personally, yeah, there's big fees for that. And sometimes the fees aren't monetarily. It's about you giving up your old story.
Exactly. Exactly.
So.
Exactly. Right on the bullseye.
Love you, Delia. Uh-oh, we've unplugged her again. Here comes that laugh.
Thank you, Sean. I do have an appointment at 1:30, and it's like this call with those two powerful women.
Yep.
And all your expertise, and I want to say experience, because someone can be an expert, and that means to me mechanically, but when I say experience, the heart is there.
Yep.
So you, with your experience, and those two ladies that humbly and honestly share where they're at, you know that I have no problem sharing where I'm at, but their level is much higher than mine, and I can see where their teams did not do what they did. They're exactly stuck where I am.
Yeah.
But you're pulling me out.
We'll
You're
get there.
pulling me out because I want to be pulled, because I'm showing up.
Yep.
Okay, let somebody else share. Thank
Love
you.
you.
I love you too. Wow.
Hey, Antoinette, I forgot to ask you 2 quick questions. If you can jump back on, if you're okay, if you're not busy doing something. One thing you learned, one thing you
I'm here.
One thing you learned from our conversation, not that I taught you anything, remember, words do not teach. So what's one thing that you picked up from our conversation and one thing you liked from our conversation?
The key to retention is not necessarily becoming a social media master like me. It is actually recognizing people and putting them in the spotlight so that I can build that a kind of rapport within my organization. So, I'm not always the one that the spotlight's shining on, but there are other things apart from recruiting that are important that should be recognized. And that will definitely take me to the next level.
Awesome. Cool.
And the second question was
one thing you liked.
Oh my gosh, I liked everything. I like the fact that you told me to do the recognition because I'm literally going to do that today and going forward. Spotlight of the week. That is my new thing.
And so here's how I came up with that suggestion, because I heard it in your voice, how you were communicating and connecting with your group, and you just didn't know it was okay for you to do that.
Yep.
Right? You knew it was about you. You knew they were following you, but you didn't want them to follow you. You wanted them to follow them. So all I did was, well, okay, I took the pressure off of you and said, now just go recognize them. Well, heck, I can do that. I can do that today. Yes. That's the little tweak. That's the difference between water at 212 degrees that's not boiling and water at 212 that is boiling. It takes a tremendous amount of energy, but it's something that happens like that.
I love it. Thank you so much.
You hear that giggle in her voice? Watch this. I promise you, her messages are going to be totally different. And people keep asking you for your IG, Antoinette. So if you want to drop that in the chat or.
Oh, okay. I'll drop it in the chat, guys.
Cool.
Great.
And folks, we did an interview a couple of weeks ago. It seems like a couple of weeks ago. I think maybe it is 2 weeks ago with Les Brown. If you go to interviews with Sean, interviewswithsean.com, you're going to put in your email address and name. It'll send you an email. You'll get your login password. And then when you go back to that page to log in, you'll have access to part 1, the questions with Nano, and the rest, all of that content's going up inside of that little membership site. So appreciate you. Let's see here. We've got CJ. Good morning, CJ.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
You want me to just ask my question?
Sure. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We could talk. I don't know. What size jacket do you wear?
A medium.
Okay, cool. So now is it okay if you ask your question? Do we have enough relationship?
Yeah. So this is actually my first time hopping on one of your calls.
Y'all throw some hearts up for CJ. Great to have you here, brother.
So I don't know. I was gonna ask your advice on. I'm trying to motivate my team more to work on building themselves. They kind of like they have the motivation, they want it, but I feel like the area I'm from, they just don't. It's easy to get caught up in not, pushing for more and lacking that drive.
Okay. So how many people on the team? How many people are you trying to motivate?
Got about 30 now.
Okay, cool. And where are you from?
New York.
New York. What part?
Around Albany.
Okay. So I was born in Yonkers.
Okay.
Question. Most of the people, the group of 30 that you have, www.interviewswithsean.com. So if most of the people that are with you, are they kind of in your same demographic?
No, it's pretty diverse, and I got them from different areas. I have people from Syracuse down near the city. I got people from different boroughs. I got people from my town.
Okay. So would it be
Yeah.
would it be fair to say the majority of them are inside New York?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're pretty similar to you. They've got similar experiences to you. Would you say they're pretty much in the same age bracket as you?
Yeah, within about 5 years.
Okay. So couple of things. Then what are you telling them that's motivating you? Have you put any posts up or had any conversations or Zooms about what you're doing to motivate yourself?
Yeah, I always talk about how, I always talk about impact over money. I always talk about how, I'm blessed to be able to influence and affect, a number of people. And, that I'm in it for the long run, not about, making $1 million tonight, but, just, over time,
Okay.
change lives.
Do you are you married?
No.
Okay. Have a girlfriend? Or
Nope.
okay. So when you talk about building a community, what ideas are you using to talk about building a community?
I don't know. What do you mean?
So you've got 30 people who follow or are part of your organization. If I were to call up the most recent person who joined your, so real quick, 3 quick questions. Permission to help you?
Of course.
Permission to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable?
Go for it.
Okay. Permission to take you out of that uncomfortable feeling?
Yes.
Cool. If I were to ask the most recent person that joined your business, number quote 30, right? Who is that?
Her name is Brianna.
Okay. And where does Brianna live?
In the city.
How old's Brianna?
18 or 19.
Okay. So what was her story growing up?
I met her at college, but I don't really know, like her story from when she was younger. I know she's moved around a lot.
Okay.
But I know that I know she's been through a lot.
Okay. So what's her favorite memory from childhood?
I couldn't tell you.
What's her worst memory from childhood?
I couldn't tell you.
What was her favorite class that she went when she was going through school?
I think I get the point that I got to make more of a personal connection.
Yeah. So it's not about motivating people, because Jim Rohn used to say this. You ever hear the name Jim Rohn?
No.
Okay. So Jim Rohn was a business philosopher of times gone by, but just absolutely brilliant. Farm boy from Idaho. Very simple philosophy, help build corporations to billions of dollars. And he would say this, you know what the problem is with motivation? If you motivate an idiot, what do you got?
A motivated idiot.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's you by any stretch of the imagination, because you're asking the question, how do I help motivate my team? But where does inspiration come from? External or internal?
I think both, but mostly internal.
Thanks for playing. It only comes from internal. Inspiration comes from inside. Motivation comes from outside. That's why you're trying to give them guidance and give them suggestions what to do and this, that, or the other.
Uh-huh.
But they don't even know why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to make them see more of what they're trying to get out of it.
that'd be the one of the things that I'd try to figure it out.
Okay. So do you think that I should I mean, an idea that just popped in my head is, I could almost, message my team and, ask them for, I mean, I've asked them to, like lay out their goals, like, what are you trying to achieve from this? Like, I know one of the kids on my team, like he talks about, like, I want to have my rent for the year saved up before September.
Cool. And so
So
when did you hear about that goal?
About honestly, like the first week he enrolled, and this was about 2 months ago.
Okay, so here's the tough question. Remember question number 2, I asked you permission to make you feel uncomfortable?
Yep.
What 3 things did you do to make sure that his rent was already saved up?
Well, it's definitely not saved.
Before you answer that, does he have his rent saved up yet?
Not yet.
So then you didn't perform.
Correct.
Yeah. That's question number 2. Question number 3 is, guess what you get to now go back to this individual and help and say to them? This is going to be a tough one for you.
What can I change about how I'm helping you?
Nope. You got to go back and apologize.
Okay.
Listen, I just realized it on a call with this guy from Texas. What a pain in the ass that guy was. But I'm on this call with this guy, and I realized I told him about you and your goal, and he made me realize I might have fallen short with helping you reach that goal, because I don't know if you got an extra $10 saved up already. I don't know how much you've got saved up for your rent. Do you know how much he has saved up for his rent?
I know that he has been growing.
Listen. I love your answers. My question is do you know how much?
I think it's about around $400 some.
So if I held a gun to your head and you had to write down the exact number, could you write down the exact number?
The exact to the penny? No.
Yeah. So that's you're gonna lose him.
Okay.
Because if you don't know the exact penny, how close they are, and that's just this example. This is why it's so important to know the one thing they need, not the 1,001 things they need.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would suggest, would you like it to be more difficult to find out that number or easier to find out that number?
Easier.
Good. I'm glad you're on my path because I don't know how to make it harder. So do you have that person's cell phone number?
Yeah.
I'd text him and say, do me a favor, dude, do me a favor. Send me how much money you've got saved up right now.
Okay. Should I ask them how much they need saved up for rent as well?
Yeah, that would be cool too, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because now guess what happens every time you call them?
How close are you to that goal?
Yeah. So guess who's now motivated?
Them.
Guess who's going to ask you better questions?
Yeah. Them.
Why do you guys choose to work so hard on how to be smart? I ain't that smart.
Okay.
Now, we just went through that example with him. Do you think he could do that 29 more times with the other folks and find out the exact thing that's their highest priority?
Yeah, I think that I definitely need to get on the phone with everyone.
Yeah. What do you think will happen when you start? If you ask this kid how close are you to his goals, what do you think he's going to do?
I think it's going to motivate him to work even harder.
But how's he going to see you in his eyes?
That I care.
Somebody who's keeping their promise. Isn't that what anybody wants? Isn't that what we want from our parents, from our friends, from our teammates? Somebody who helps us keep our promises?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because they kind of, took the shot in the dark and took the chance with me.
Yep. And because they're not going to ever tell you how much they have saved, because they're not going to wave a flag going, oh my God, this is amazing. We got to sometimes remind people how good they are.
Yeah.
What'd you learn? One thing you learned, one thing you liked, CJ?
Well, I learned that I definitely need to, I need to get on a more personal level with my team and make sure that they're working toward their goals. And I like the uncomfortable feeling that I'm not doing enough.
But see, here's the thing. In what I just shared with you, is it really doing a lot more? Or is it allowing you to do a lot less?
Yeah, it might. I think it would be honestly me doing less because I feel like I spend a lot of time trying to push them like if you work harder you can do this, if you work harder you can do that. But I guess if I step back and I kind of make them open their eyes to the situation more,
Yep.
then
Do you ever have any? Do you ever have any pets?
yeah,
What kind?
dogs.
Dogs. So, did you ever try to make your dogs go into a room and like by trying to stand behind them and go in the room, go in the room? Or did you stand in the room and call them and they all showed up?
Yeah, they definitely don't like being forced.
Yeah. So why don't you go stand in a room called success and call your team to it as opposed to trying to push them into the room?
Okay.
Oh, damn. Now it's real easy. Now I get them all.
Yeah.
So guess what happens when you send out your next telegram or your next bulk message to everybody? Tell me how close you are to your goals.
Yeah.
And now you get 30 people responding 30 different things as opposed to going, what did they want? What did they need? How do they want? How can I help you on your goals today?
See, I feel like one of the things is, like I can sit here and message my Telegram group, all day, and like there's a few of them that are really active and they're always in there. But then, there's a lot of them that, I just don't hear from unless I call them individually.
Yep. And so the reason that you got to call them individually is because they need what? Recognition.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been trying to definitely work on that lately. I definitely try and shout out people, for little successes that they have or working hard. I liked the whole spotlight of the week idea. I think I might do that too.
Yeah, don't do that. It won't work. Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I learned something.
Yeah. I'm glad. I was getting nervous. So in our little 10-minute conversation, did you get value?
Absolutely.
Cool. Because that's all I want to do is make sure that you get the value. So you get to put the price on it, not me. Here's the next question. What we talked about, could you take that with you no matter what company you're in?
Absolutely.
Could you take that with you no matter what you do in life?
Yeah.
See, this is the difference between upline and mentors. Upline tell you what you do, what you should do to build my check subconsciously. I'm giving you guidance what to do to help me build my 600 generations of success.
Okay.
Thanks for being here this morning. Thanks for giving me some of your time.
Thank you.
You bet. Yeah, baby. Is that Shammy? And Shammy got her hand up next. Oh my gosh. Hello, Shammy.
Hello.
Hello.
Just a second. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, my love.
Uh-oh.
And we're off.
Her sister left the room and she's mad. She wanted to go too. I want to ask, like, for someone like me that's completely new at this, like, what's the first thing? What's the first thing I should like work on or focus on doing, or
to achieve what result? What's the result we're looking for? Is this business, family, your kids?
Yeah.
Business. So you want to create success. You want to show other people that you're successful, or you want to show other people a successful model?
Well, right, that would be more of a successful I guess model, because
Okay. So what did you just do? You got on this call. You were going to say something. Somebody started having a little bit of a tantrum. And what did you do?
I carried her, picked her up.
And brought her where?
To me.
to you, and then because she didn't really want to be with you, she wanted to be with whoever left the room. Where did you take her?
But I kept her with me because her sister not back.
Okay, so here's the question then. Isn't anybody right now who's dealing with COVID, anybody who's dealing with the stress of life right now, didn't something leave the room on them called a job, called income, called a variety of things?
Yes.
And then so what is everybody right now out there needing from you? To be picked up and held.
Support.
Yeah. Can you pick up and hold people? Can you give them a safe place that until their quote sister comes back, can you hold them until they're safe?
I would like to, yes.
Well, interesting answer. Either you can or you can't. I know the answer.
The
The answer is yes, you can.
yes.
Because now what if there was 5 kids in the room? How many kids could you pick up?
2.
Yeah. So who's going to pick up the other 3?
Uh,
Can I help?
someone, yeah,
Can Rhonda help?
yes.
Can anyone else that's on our team help?
Yes.
Yes. So what would you have to do?
So what I'm understanding, the first thing would be to leverage people before me or people that can help.
Yeah. So you got to let us know when you need our help.
Well, that's another thing I'm not
Yeah.
used to.
I know. So is it okay if we help you?
Yes.
Okay. So is it okay if you ask for help?
Yes.
Awesome. When would you ask for help?
When I need it.
Okay. So when would you need it?
Now.
There you go. So ask me for help.
Yeah. Right now.
Yeah. What would it sound like if you needed to ask me for help? I can say it for you if you need it. Sean, would you help me?
Sean, would you help me?
Yes, I would. So now that you have the answer to that, when can you ask for help?
When I need it now.
Yep.
You don't have to.
Was that difficult?
You don't have to shut the door.
No.
No. Well, yeah, a little bit, but we'll make it easier.
So like with the whole social media, first thing I should do is ask as leverage, ask for help.
So you could just ask people who's on your team to help. Just little things like that. But I can help you. I can help you create some social media posts that will fit into your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
That would have people reaching out to you.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So we could do that. They're called intrigue posts. I'll help you with that.
Entry post, okay.
Yep.
Entry post. That would be awesome. Like creating a video. First video was it's just so much harder than I imagined. I was like, why is this so? I had to do it like 500 times. And then I thought about Rhonda. I was like, wow, she's doing one every day right now.
Yeah. Well, she's nuts. So who else is? You're not as crazy as her, or maybe you are.
Well, thank you.
You bet. So yeah, we'll just chat.
Okay.
What'd you learn? What'd you like?
I learned that that it's okay to need help. Like I said, that's something that's a little hard for me too, to ask for help. So it's okay to need it in the first place. And I like that um, I like that the answer was like the way you led me to the answer was way different than what I thought it would be.
Right.
Yeah,
Kind of
but
cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, my love.
thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so let's see here. We got there were a couple more hands up there. Michelle, go ahead. Michelle Davis. Okay. I'm not sure how to say it. Erhun. Erhun. I may be saying that wrong. Please tell me how to say your name correctly.
It's pronounced Arun. It's like a silent H.
Arun. Arun. Good morning.
Yeah, Arun. Good morning.
Good morning.
My question is how, because my circle of people are quite small, and I feel like I've reached out to the people around me already. But how do I reach out past that? Like using social media or whatever other means I can, like reach out to people to get them to bring, to join my team, because help more people. I feel like we're helping people.
Okay.
So I want to grow my team and be able to reach more people and help more people, but I don't know how to do that because I'm quite a confident person, but I feel like my circle just isn't big enough. So I need to go outside of that.
Okay.
And I don't know how to do that. So please help me.
So first time on the call, maybe not.
Yes, it is the first time on the call.
Well, welcome. Y'all throw some hearts up for Iran.
Arun.
Arun, I'll get it. Arun. So here's a question for you. First of all, do I have your permission to help?
Yes.
Permission to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable?
Yes.
Okay, and permission to take you out of that uncomfortable feeling?
Yes.
Cool. So tell me a little bit about your business. How long ago did you start?
It's urgent. Come.
Christine, can I get a minute?
No, it's urgent.
It's urgent. and if you need to run, come back.
Okay, I'll be back.
Okay,
In a moment.
I'll be here.
Thank you.
I'm not going anywhere. So let's go to Alex.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can, Alex. Good morning.
Good morning to you and good afternoon here in Serbia, though. But
oh, excellent!
We're getting there.
I love Serbia.
Have you been?
I have been. I did a lot of business.
Really?
Yeah, I did a lot of business in Ljubljana. Good Lord.
The capital of Serbia is Belgrade. Actually, that's in
Well,
Slovenia.
no, I've been to Belgrade, but
I'm
saying I used to do all of that in Macedonia and in Croatia, Serbia.
Yeah, there's Bosnia, Croatia. Yeah. Well, have you enjoyed the nightlife here? That's like big thing.
From what I can remember, yes.
Yeah. That's a huge thing here. A huge thing. Yeah. It's like absolutely great.
Yes.
Anyways, pleasure to have you on the line. This is my actually first time. I'm a new kid on the block here.
Excellent.
With you guys. So I'm actually pretty astonished by what I've heard in the last 30 minutes. From you, this is like pure spitting truth. And that was absolutely great.
Cool.
So my question was basically, I've been doing sales for some time now. I'm actually 18. I've been doing sales. I have some experience in cold calling. I did like insurance, lead generation, healthcare. I used to sell some stocks to some people, actually persuade them to buy, right?
Yep.
But the thing is, everything that I learned was basically self-taught, and it was self-taught by the books of the Wall Street guys, right? The books, the videos. So I really established that like sleazy salesman type. Like literally close the idiot and that's it.
Right.
And for this business, obviously, it's not going to work, right? Because here you need to be a leader. You need to like make sure that people succeed and you are glad for them to succeed, right?
Right.
But there in sales, we were like, hey, I'm just going to close this idiot, take some commission, and that's it.
Right.
So the first part of the question is how can I like, and by the way, thank you guys for, for welcoming me. Um, so the first part of the question is how do I like make this transition to a new mindset, right? A new state of mind. And the other thing is I launched actually a Instagram business page for business. I launched I'm gonna write a sales ebook and course by the end of the year, and I am an amateur in sales, but I'm gonna like gather all the knowledge that I've collected. I'm gonna sell it for like $10, something
Okay.
like that.
Yep.
Basically, every tip, every video I watched, because I'm a learning junkie, so I'm like um, I'm gonna sell that for like 20-ish bucks, right?
Yep.
And the second thing is how can I like the only thing I fear is that I'm trying to be a busy fool in this business.
Yep.
I've been in it for a couple of months. I've launched some dropshipping stores. They actually failed. I don't know why I ran ads. They were going great. I had a lot of traffic, but actually nothing sold, right?
Right.
And I've been in this Instagram game for not so long, to be honest. But I just don't know like when is it gonna peak, and I just feel all the time like I'm a busy fool, and my work ethic is insane. Like I get up 6 a.m. in the morning every day. I work for 10 hours minimum. Like my rest days on Sundays, like when I work for 6 hours, right? So it's like an extremely insane work ethic, and I just don't know like when is it gonna make the transition? When's it gonna wheel keep rolling? Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you a couple of questions about your business.
Yeah.
So do you do any business in your own language?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I want to like teach people how to. I'm not gonna say sell, quote unquote. I'm gonna say communicate their idea to other people, right?
Right. But do you do it in Serbian, or is all of your posts in English?
All of my posting is in English. I find English to be um, like a sales language.
Right.
I really find English to be not sales, communication language for all of the phrases that everything that you can say is limited in almost every other language. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm not a native
No, no, no.
speaker, obviously, but
Listen,
that's just
listen.
how I see it.
So you're right, because all of the great books, right, have either been translated.
Yeah.
There's not too many icons that come out of Serbia, although there are some great sales trainers and professionals in Serbia.
Yeah.
But the point is that the Think and Grow Riches, the Napoleon Hills, the Earl Nightingales, all of those things they all came from the U.S. They all came in.
I'm reading it. Yeah, I know. I'm reading it. Absolutely.
So all of this to say, here's the advantage you have over me. You have an accent.
Thank you.
Listen.
I've actually you can see me right now.
Yep.
I get that a lot. Thank you so much. It's something I've been practicing, talking to myself under the shower, right? Practicing for many years. Actually, since I was like 13, and I'm gonna be 19 in 2 months. So it's like years and years in practice. Practice makes the dream work, right? So
Right. So here's the good
that's
news.
it.
When you do videos?
That's kind of a problem now. When I want to do a video, right? When I want to do a video or anything like that, I just don't have a freaking clue what to say. I just like stumble upon my own words. Just like I'm not like I'm not terrified of doing that, but it's kind of uncomfortable or something. I don't know.
So here's a question for you. You realize you just did a video with me right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's point two. One, the reason that you're not quite sure what to say is because you're worried about the audience. And what I
Maybe
mean by
something like that,
you're worried about the audience is most people don't have the experience or the drive that you have, but you forget that when you go into a video mindset.
Yeah.
Right. So a couple of things. You get to play the 19-year-old.
Yeah.
You get to talk about Wall Street education. You get to talk about 13-hour a day episodes of work and ethics. You get to talk about building a global business from Serbia.
Yeah.
Right. So I would encourage you to start talking about that. Listen, one of the things, so let's talk about the global thing that's happening right now, COVID. How's that affected you in your country?
Actually, we've been in lockdown for I don't remember how long. It's literally weeks and weeks and weeks.
Right.
Just like some people work maybe who are in the construction business, who are in the like essential businesses, right? They work, everyone else is probably doomed, or I don't know.
Right. So here's the thing. Couple of things you can talk about is you could do things in, so I'm guessing your Serbian is pretty good.
I'm a native speaker, yeah.
I know. So
Yeah.
what if you, yeah, because there's some people like, no, I only had the accent. I do not speak the language. So,
Yeah.
so you could talk to that. You could say, listen, for those of you fellow countrymen, right? Country women,
Yeah.
I can show you how to build a global business. I was just on a training call with an icon in Dallas.
Yeah.
That if you want to join my community, I'll translate what he talked to me about this morning about leadership and about the 30 minutes of truth that I just heard him drop. And imagine building a group of entrepreneurs in Serbian who you're the only one that can translate my language.
Yeah. Kind of a problem with that is that people here are just not in the mindset. They're like old fashioned. They're not in the mindset.
I get it, but there's gonna be some folks. Listen, if that was true, listen, Alex, if that was true, you and I wouldn't be talking right now.
Yeah.
So your vibe is going to create a tribe. Doesn't mean you've got to wait on them. You just throw it out there. You throw a couple of things out there. You're in the fishing mode, not hunting. I'm a fisherman, not a hunter. See, if I stopped my show at 424 episodes, you and I wouldn't be talking.
Yeah.
So I'm still fishing. I'm fishing for like-minded souls who want to make the world a better place, whether it be from Serbia or the South Bronx.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. The second thing I would encourage you is, yeah, you're 19, but you understand what it is to build a global business.
I like to think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So my point is that, do you know how many 30-year-olds haven't figured out how to build a global business yet? Do you know how many people who see you, if they see your video and they're in Washington State, the West Coast of the United States,
yeah,
where COVID is absolutely raging there?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how is this 19-year-old from Serbia, how the hell is he doing it? See, you have this unique advantage. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm 22 years in this profession, 30 years in studying the human mind, and 40 years in sales. By God, if I'm not successful now, who the hell's going to follow me?
Yeah.
So I have to have a pedigree. I have to have a resume. You don't have to. Your resume for the last 6 months is more than most people's last 6 years.
Yeah.
You're thinking you need more, you need to do more. And I get it. You're 19, not almost 19. I want to come over
almost
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to pop you
2
in.
months in. 2 months in, yeah.
So I applaud you for two things: having the courage, and you've already started. You've been doing this since you're 13.
Yeah.
So what if you just spoke about, what if you did post, listen, for the last 6 years, I've been working on personal development and I reached a new level. That's called an intrigue post. What have you been doing for 6 years in the middle of Serbia that now you have a global connection? Listen, you and I are going to be friends. I don't care what we do. If we ever do business together, I need you in my world. I need to be able to say, listen, I got a guy in Serbia, Alex, y'all need to listen to him. Because guess what that does for me? That shows my global connection. I get to leverage you. I hope you leverage me the same way. We're friends now, whether you like it or not. Now, you could choose to never speak to me again, but if you show up here again, dude, you're in. Why? Because I need you in this world. I have a 16-year-old son. My bride and I have been married for 20 years. We have a 16-year-old boy. Guess what? If I go, Mason, you got to talk to Alex because you're closer to his age. You can speak to him. And I'm his dad. I can't speak to him and say the things that you could. I could give you the script and you read it to him. You think you'll connect with him better? Yes. So I want you to be able to leverage me. I want to be able to leverage you. This is what's going to happen. This was what will change your business. You know how 30,000 people joined my organization in 18 months? Because they got to leverage me. I did an interview with Les Brown a weekend ago. None of them, a majority of them don't speak English, but you know what they all did? They posted pictures of me and them and me and Les Brown. Guess what happened to their business? This is our mentor. Our mentor interviews Les Brown. Our mentor has a conversation with Les Brown. And now all of a sudden, everybody's joining them in their business because they're going, wait a minute, if your mentor hangs out with Les Brown, maybe we should hang out with you. Guess what you get to leverage now? The guy who interviewed Les Brown spent 20 minutes having a one-on-one conversation with me in front of 60 people, and I learned more about business in half an hour than I had in 13 years. You want to draw people to you? Give them something to draw them to you. It's not about you, it's about your connections. You're 19 years old. I appreciate you. You've had a good life. You've had shitty days. You've had great days. You're 19. Guess what you just got to leverage now? My 30 years of sales study of the human brain, my 40 years of sales experience, and my 22 years in this profession. You now get to leverage that, don't you? And you may be frozen or you're just totally intense. Yeah, he's frozen. Y'all see how this works? And we'll wait for Alex to come back. Arun, did I say that right? Are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
Hey. And your question, Mike?
My question is, I've recently gotten into this, and I'm my team's still quite small. I'm trying to figure out how it is I can reach out to people and encourage people to join my team and grow with me.
So what are the methodologies you have to reach out to people? What ways do you like to reach out to people?
I've been trying to reach out to people recently through social media, through Instagram.
Okay. And what does that look like? What does reaching out to people look like? What is it, a post? Is it a video? Is it a what?
It's been stories, Instagram stories. I've been trying to send some direct messages.
Okay. We'll get back to you, Alex. Hang on just a second. So what does a post look like? What does a post sound like?
A post something motivational about succeeding in life, really. Like, is where you are today where you want to be tomorrow. And it's what you're doing today, taking you a step closer to where you want to be tomorrow.
So what's your CTA?
I don't know what CTA is.
I'm sorry, call to action. What's your CTA? Your call to action. In your post. Does it say reach out to me?
No, it doesn't.
So I'm supposed to be a mind reader.
No.
Yeah. So that's why they can't reach out to you. That's because you haven't told them to reach out. You're trying to be the news. I'd rather not be the news.
So I need to add some call to actions to my posts. And
it might be in your comments, right? You put up a meme and it says this, and in your comment it says, I've learned some secrets behind this. DM me to hear some of the lessons I've learned. But they can't reach out to you because you didn't tell them to reach out to you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sometimes it's the simple things, isn't it?
Yeah. What other, I wanted to also diversify it. So what other ways would you kind of like recommend in?
Do you have names? Do you have names in your phone?
Yes, I do.
How many texts have you sent out checking on people?
I should have sent more.
Yeah. One of my business partners has 160,000 names in her phone. She sent out 2,000 in 2 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And the message was, hey, listen, it's me. I'm just checking on you in this crazy times. I hope you're doing well. Reach back out to me. Let me know you're okay.
Mm.
Or I could come up with something magical with fairy dust and something that you could never do, or I can just give you tasks you could go do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simple sucks. Does that help?
It does. It does. It is kind of the simple. Yeah.
Because you're going, I could have done this yesterday. And the answer to that is,
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
yeah, see, that's what a mentor does. I'm not here about the check. I'm here about you taking care of you and your family, because you can do this in any business. It's not about building your 4X.
Mm-hmm.
And this is about you building you.
Mm.
What's one thing you learned from our conversation?
It's important to have call to actions and to care, to show that you care.
One thing you liked from our conversation?
You made me reflect.
Because see, you already have the talent and skills. If I told you to go do something, you needed to learn a new talent, what do you think the chances are of you implementing that?
Close. Not very high.
Yeah, not very high. But if I can tell you to do something you hadn't looked at, but something you already have the talent and skill to do, when could you implement that?
Now.
Yeah, I'm rather you about seeing success now than sometime in the future. Welcome to the brain scramble. Where simple is simple.
Exactly.
Does that help?
It does. It actually does. Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad you were here for your first time. Was it of value?
It was.
Cool. We might then get to see you another time, I hope.
Definitely.
Cool. All right, let's go back to Alex in Serbia now that the internet's back on.
All right, I gotta fix that damn thing. I've been promising every day, but just haven't fixed it yet. I gotta do it this week, immediately.
So Alex, the thing that you get to leverage is I get to leverage you saying on my call this morning, because this is a global call. There's people from Latin America, UK, and now I get to add somebody from Serbia. On my call grew its global community in Serbia. Do you think more people would join my call just because I mentioned somebody from Serbia? Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think might happen to your reach if you say, I just was mentored by a guy in Dallas who's got 22 years experience in this business and in the last 18 months built an organization of 30,000 people? Think people might pay a little more attention to you?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not about your story. It's about the story you get to tell.
Yeah.
Right? So I'd encourage you to start doing that.
Tell the story.
Tell the story. Listen, you got a great story. But you're used to, well, I need my story to be about success. I'd consider this I know it was successful for me.
Yeah.
And if it was successful for you, then I tell the stories about success you're having, because it doesn't matter right now, age, race, creed, color, gender. People, the only thing that COVID is causing people to look for is where can I find somebody who's got success that I can ride their coattails, period.
Yeah.
And you now get to tell the story about our conversation.
Absolutely pleasure to do that, yeah.
And because you have the accent, and when you do your videos, you can say, listen, I'm from Serbia. I'm locked down in Serbia. So my accent may be a little strong, and it's not. It's enough there to know it's not a UK accent. It's not a Texas accent, right? So you've worked on that, but you get to leverage that. And if you're not leveraging that, if you're trying to sound American or English or something else, I'd encourage you to put a little more thicker accent on. Because when people go, well, shit, if he could do it, I could do it. If he's doing it locked up in Serbia, I got to have a better story than he does.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing we want, is we want people to say, if you could do it, I could do it.
So in a nutshell, basically, I should present myself, since I sound American, correct?
Yeah. Well,
I
not
should,
to me, but to most people you would.
yeah. So I should like just sound like a foreigner and just like tell a
Yeah.
story.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is, I'm just playing with you, right?
Yeah.
Right. So if I could be from Ireland. Top of the afternoon, everybody. My name is Sean Murphy, and I'll give you 3 guesses where you think I'm from. I'm from Ireland. So listen, I want to tell you about this global business that I'm a part of, and I'm stuck here in Wexford, Ireland. There's not a whole lot of people doing things around here right now. So what I'm doing, though, is I'm being able to build my business. I had this conversation with this bloke from Texas this morning. What an idiot he is, but I got to tell you, he's brilliant. Oh, he's brilliant, right? You get to tell the story. And I'd even say some things in Serbian. I started off with, Pожалуйста, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm speaking Serbian. Right?
That's Russian, actually. But yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I get the point. I understand the point, yeah.
My mother's Russian, so that's where I go. Pожалуйста.
Really?
Right? Yes. So she was somewhere. She was first generation here. But yeah, Victoria Trukhan. So yeah, I'm Russian. Russian and Irish. Don't ask me about the drinking or the fights in that house.
Yeah.
But you get to say stuff. You throw a Serbian word in there going, how do you say? Because here's the key about public speaking. Be a puppet. Never let them see the strings. I've stood on stage in 30 plus countries, been translated into 40 languages. I am a professional speaker. The difference between me and you is I get paid to speak. You speak for free. Now you're building your business to tell a story, and people will join you in business. You're not quite a professional speaker, but you're getting paid to speak. So I say all of that to say this. You have an extreme advantage over me. I'm from Dallas, Texas. People are going to go, well, of course he's successful. I have 22 years experience. Of course he's successful. That's why I don't tell anybody that. I'm a 3-time #1 best-selling author. I don't tell anybody that.
Yeah.
Because instantly they go, well, if you did that, I got to do that.
It should be a standard by that point, yeah.
You should have success. You should be successful. No, I want them to know I'm a farm boy from Ohio who barely made it through high school. That's all they need to know. And then when they start to hear more things, did I just hear him say he was on stage in 30 countries he's spoken? Yeah, I got lucky. Oh my God, I need to follow. How did he do that?
Yeah.
So he's a 3-time best-selling author on Amazon, #1 best-selling author. Huh? The guy can't even spell. Yeah, I know. I got lucky with that.
Let the results speak, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I tell you my results, that's bragging.
Yeah.
But if you talk about my results, that's holy crap. This is who we get to hang out with.
That's great. Yeah. That's a huge, and I mean, in this world of social media, right? Social media is a very powerful tool. Now, people only use it to mindlessly scroll through the feed, right?
Right.
But that's not the way you should use. I mean, yeah, like an hour a day. Okay. Right. Okay. But for the rest of like you sleep 7 hours a day and you're stuck with like 13, 14 to do whatever, and you're gonna tell me with a straight face you're gonna sit at home watch Netflix. Come on, dude. I mean,
Right.
So for me it's just about do it. Just go with the flow and do it.
I have a gentleman in Austin, Texas, who's Russian.
Yeah.
His name is Konstantin, and he wants to do things like you through social media. And I tell him, Konstantin, you're here. You've got a little boy here. You're a dad here in the United States, Russian dad here in the United States with a little boy. I said, I'd be telling more of those stories with your accent. No, but I want to. I'm taking Instagram lessons from a gentleman in Russia. Good. Tell that story. Why do you all have to go back to Russia to learn about the Instagram? The Instagram is very easy here in the US.
Yeah.
He gets to tell a story. He gets to say he's partnered with a guy from Dallas, Texas, who's an absolute nut job. But he gets to now tell the story to all his Russian friends that I'm his partner. Imagine that. What's happening to his business? Because all he has to do is, you want to speak to the guy? I put him in touch with you. And then I'm talking to all these people that would not have normally used him, but now they get to use me.
Yeah.
Tell your story. Does that help, Alex?
Pretty much, yeah. Brought a lot of value, solved some inner problems, right? And it was very, very good. So I know you're gonna ask me what have I learned, right? So
Student. One thing you learned, one thing you liked.
yeah. The thing I learned, well, I need to choose actually from a couple since I'm a note taker, right?
Yep.
I need to choose from a couple, but let's just say that I learned that approach is everything, right?
Yep.
And always be in here for the long game.
Yep.
Long term. So you just get the fish, the patience game is on, and let's just see who's gonna win, right?
That's it.
The thing I liked is how you said it. I loved the things you said, and I liked how you said them. That's like, I mean, the experience combined with skill, combined with work, combined with the power of Holy God, right? It was just incredible. This is my first time around, like I said, and I'm sure as hell gonna be here tomorrow, and I'm gonna be here on Sundays if needed, right? So
Well,
this has been incredible.
Well, Alex, listen, you're the individuals that inspire me every day to keep going.
Yeah.
First time here, have a conversation, you pick it up, and I got to promise you, of the 425 episodes that I've done, you're the first one to say, unless you've been one of my students, personal students, you're the first one to say, going, and I know the two questions you're going to ask me, so let me answer those. That just made me tickle inside. You're now my favorite.
Yeah.
Awesome job, brother.
Thank you as well.
Okay, bye for now. RBP, where are we at?
I'm over here in love with Alex. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, I want him as my son. I want to just fold him up and bring him to Texas and sit him over here with me because
I want to move. I want to move to US. That's my goal. So thank you.
See, you've got a home in Texas waiting for you.
Thank you.
There you go. Like, I'm over here just blown away at this young man. He's, golly, 19 or almost 19. Are you 19 already?
Soon to be May 23rd.
Oh
May
my
23rd.
gosh.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I'm just, Sean, I'm blown away at what he absorbs. It sounded like we were on a syndicated radio talk show with a very experienced moderator named Alex, who knows all the questions to ask and all the right answers to say. And
Rhonda, why do you think I build internationally? Why do you think I build huge organizations in Europe and Slovenia and Macedonia and Croatia and Serbia? Because they don't take any BS. And you could be sitting in a room in Serbia and there'd be Croatians, and 15 years ago, their countries were at war when I was building over there. And you get somebody who walks to the front of the room that was their sworn enemy, and now they're doing business together.
Yeah.
Put that in your pipe and try to figure out how do you actually go, and wait a minute, is there going to be a fist fight here?
I know.
And they're usually not very small people.
Right.
So
I am blown away. And then he knew the two questions to answer at the end. I mean, he is alert. He is on top of things. He's got his act together. He knew what questions he wanted to ask. He was clear in his articulation and his communication. Unbelievable at 18 years old. And I'm going, God, he's been studying since he was 13. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm 45 years old. I don't even have it together as good as this guy does. Unbelievable. I'm blessed to see him on the call today. And I actually put in the chat, Alex, if you'll drop how to follow you, we'll follow you and support you and keep up with you and keep coming back to these calls, because you add a lot to these calls. Your energy, your intelligence, your capabilities, your articulation. You're kind of the whole package, dude. You know, you're kind of the whole
real Serbian wolf.
Yeah, he's the real deal, man. It's like the whole Happy Meal right there. So I'm over here just sitting here in joy and in awe. I think I was just kind of leaning over the whole time y'all were talking. I was like, oh my gosh, this dude rolls right with Sean. And that says a lot, Alex. You roll hand in hand with Sean, and Sean was talking and you were talking, and I'm like, need anybody else speak? Like, that was impressive. But everybody that's gotten on today, all the new people, shout outs to all y'all, because there's been people on this call. I sat on the call for months before I spoke up. And then I finally had the courage to speak. And y'all get on here for your first time and you speak up. Your drive is unbelievable. We've had 4 new people speak up today.
Yep.
And that's just, y'all, that's where change happens. You can't change if you stay inside your head and you never ever get out of your own thoughts, or you never ever express your own thoughts. You can't ever change. You can't ever expect anything else to happen. So as you speak and you get over the fear of asking a stupid question, there's no stupid questions. And you get over that fear and you just ask. You've got at your hands Sean G. Murphy. Y'all have no idea who you're talking to right now. Like, I've worked with him now for over, we said over a year now, hadn't it?
Yep.
Golly, it's been over a year, Sean. And y'all have no idea who you have at your disposal. And he's not charging you a dime for unbelievable information. If you follow what he suggests and keep coming back, he'll keep feeding you, and everything about you will change, and your life will change. Your businesses will grow, and he'll keep dropping into you and sowing into you. And you know what he asks in return? Nothing.
Well,
There's
go put at least a smile in the world so it shows back up for me and my family.
Right. That's it. There's no place that people will treat you like this.
Yeah, but that's like when you get to a certain level, you've accomplished all these things, you know you're a badass, and it's just how it goes. So
Yeah, but most badasses are trying to get other people in their tribe through a fee. Listen, Alex, if you ever want personal mentorship, it's 10 grand a month.
Yeah.
And we take it to a whole nother level. I can only give you so much in 2 hours. In my hour-long calls that turn into 2 hours, I'll give you everything I got, but it's the implementation. So that's why this next level of mentorship. So I'm going to be doing a mentorship summit in August, probably. So if you want to come to that, I'll let you know how to get into that mentor. There's only going to be, it'll either be 16 or 20 people that'll come in and spend 4 days with me in a little retreat up somewhere in a lake in Tennessee. Imagine 4 days with me, breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything included. So anyway, we'll talk more about that. But I'm just so glad you're here.
Yeah.
I'm glad you have me. So that was, and you know what? I'm gonna, so far, like, the goal was like money, make millions and do whatever, right?
Yep.
But I just now realized that it's actually the feedback. I'm gonna remember this woman's name, Rhonda Parker. I'm gonna remember that. It's the feedback when someone acknowledges your work, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna remember that name for sure.
Yeah, you are, because you're going to end up coming to East Texas, and you'll get a big old East Texas hug, and I'll cook for you.
Some ribs. I can get some ribs. I will eat those ribs, though.
My husband's the best at cooking ribs. We'll take you hunting. We'll do all the fun East Texas stuff. We'll have a blast.
Let me see that, yeah.
And we're only about an hour and 15 minutes from Sean, so we'll just make it a full meal deal,
2 in 1, right? That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, no, Sean, it's just been I woke up this morning going, what's in store? And this is what I get handed. And it's unbelievable. It never ceases to amaze me when we sit back after these calls and we chat, all the things that happen on these phone calls. And there's no other place to get this. Sean has created a place to arrive and be fed and loved on and taken care of and learn to sit in joy. And I have yet to find that anywhere else this consistent without any strings attached. So I am blessed this morning. Happy.
Woohoo!
Yeah, woohoo!
Vach, how are you? You got your hand up. I see your hand up, Vach.
I'm doing good. Hi, Sean. Hi, Rhonda.
Hey, everybody. um, I wanted to ask you, I guess, two questions. I'm so glad that you did about the business today. Woohoo! Because I've definitely been needing some help with my business. Okay, so I'm gonna make a long story short here. Okay, so basically, in my business right now, I'm in network marketing, but I'm also an entrepreneur. I just started my own clothing line. And I'm a mental health advocate as well.
Okay.
And so my first question is, I'm gonna ask the question and then I'm gonna explain why I'm asking the question.
Okay.
So the first question is, how do I guess, tell or convey to my leader that I don't really feel like, I guess, I'm being led, or do I not say it at all?
Okay, so before you, no, but I don't need to know why you ask, because I already know the question.
Okay.
So, because you're trying to justify why you want to step away from their leadership or not have to do what they're asking you to do, and you're trying to make it, and you're trying to be nice.
Well, it's not that I don't want to do what they're telling me to do. It's that they're not telling me to do anything.
Okay, so then what do you want to do?
I don't know. Well, I do know. I guess I want to like try to get them to see that they're not really doing very much.
Wait a minute.
So,
That
or
they're not
something.
doing very
I
much.
don't know.
That they're not doing very much, or you're not doing very much.
I mean, both, I guess.
Why would you want to prove them right? Because if they're not doing very much, you're not doing very much. You're proving them right. Why do you want to prove them right?
Well, I feel like, okay, so I'm not doing very much when it comes to like the actual network marketing and building side, other than getting on calls and taking notes and stuff.
Okay.
But my leader does a lot of like a lot of Zoom calls, and she'll ask me to like sometimes she'll call me and we'll spew around ideas, but she often like just takes whatever ideas that I throw out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just kind of like, I don't know. Not that I feel like I should be receiving credit, because I don't really care about that very much, because I like helping the whole team.
Right.
But I don't feel like, I guess, I'm being poured back into, because it's already stuff that I'm the person that's coming up with it.
Mm-hmm. So what's the solution?
Sean, I don't know. That's why I asked you.
So if I just came to you, Vach, and I said, listen, I've got an upline who absolutely loves all of my ideas, and then she implements them. I'm frustrated because I'm not implementing them myself. What should I do?
Okay. But I mean, I'm implementing my own ideas. I'm just not
Are they working?
Well, yeah.
So what's your results?
Well, in network marketing, I don't have any results, but trading, I do have results.
So where do you get paid?
Both.
Okay, so you get paid to find customers and teach people how to trade, and you get rewarded to build leaders. Which do you get paid more from?
Building leaders.
So, I mean, maybe it could be trading if you don't want to spend time in building leaders.
Well, yeah, whichever one I spend more time in, that's
Right.
true.
So where do you want to spend your time?
In both.
No, where do you want to spend more time? Right now, where are you getting the best result? Building leaders or doing your trading?
Trading.
So then,
trading.
So then where's the problem? Why don't you just spend more time trading?
Because I guess in the business, we always hear that, like, what is it? That, like, trading, you make money, it can get you rich, but residuals make you wealthy. So.
Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit. Because nobody understands how to build a residual. Have you ever sponsored anybody and they walked away?
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't understand residual. Whoever taught you residual sucks at it.
Oh man. Okay. Okay.
I'm just listen. I'm coming for your neck because you're spending so much emotional energy trying to figure this out.
And that's true. That's so true.
Exactly. I can hear it in your voice. And because you're going to say, listen, I'm going to ask you a question, then I'm going to explain the question. You don't, if the question is a good question, you do not need to explain it to me. And the explanation was, I'm helping everybody else and I'm not winning. That's your statement. How do I win?
It really is.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why.
How do I win more, Sean?
I've been doing this for 30 freaking years. If I couldn't figure that out, you all should jump off this call now. And I should.
Oh my God.
So here's my point. Are you okay with giving of your energy and not being paid for it? And the answer to that could be yes. But you're giving of your time and your energy. Right now, I'm giving of you guys my time. Listen, if I was on stage right now and I've been on stage in front of less people, in front of executives, a room full of executives, 6 people in a room, you know what it would have cost them by right now? If I look at the clock, 2 hours and 18 minutes, 30 grand.
30 grand. Mm-hmm.
And I'm a lot rougher with them than I are with y'all. Why? Because they're paying me. They expect a result. I have to rewire their brain in 2 hours.
Right.
So I'm going to rewire your brain in the next 30 seconds, but you get to choose whether you want to plug into it or not. Give this upline your talent, your time, and your suggestions. Go build your trading. If you want to learn how to build people, then start implementing the talent and tools for yourself.
Okay.
But go trade. If you're making money trading, why would you stop doing more of that? Well, because they tell me there is no economy out there. Every one of you on here, the 40 people that are on here right now, there is no global economy. There's only your economy. And when you wake up to your economy, you'll start doing things to take care of you. And everybody on your team, there's only their economy. When somebody from Latin America says, I can't build my business, I go, let's talk about your business. And we talk about their business and we put things in place for them to build their business. Not my team. Their business. Rhonda does things in her business that are different than anybody else in our business because Rhonda does Rhonda. Well, I want to do what Rhonda does. Don't do what Rhonda does. You can't do what Rhonda does. You can do something like it, but you got to do it your way.
Okay. Okay. Second question.
Cool.
Okay. So, I just started my own clothing line.
Excellent.
And I want to thank you for saying what you said something the other day, and you said if the label on a water bottle tells you what's in the bottle about the water, then the clothes that you wear tell you about you. And I literally, when I started it was the day before I started my clothing line, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing that Sean has ever said to me at this moment right now. So I wanted to thank you for that. And now, so I've kind of like joined my mental health advocacy in that as well. I have like a group chat, pretty much helping people better their mental health and spiritual health and things like that. Mm-hmm. But I've kind of tied it into my t-shirt business and making clothes that pretty much represent you. And I guess I want to ask more like, how would you say that what would you recommend that I do to build more momentum in sales?
Give people a reason to buy.
Okay.
Now, what are they buying? They're not buying the clothing. What are they buying?
What's on the clothing?
Okay.
For me.
And so, but what are they really buying? This will change. I hope this will change everything for you when you get this. The only reason anybody does it, the only reason y'all are still here and the other 90 people there was 101 people on here at one time. Where'd the other 60 people go? They jumped off for another call. I get that. Why did they jump off this call to go to another call?
For who, or the value of it?
To brag.
Oh, okay.
It's the only reason anybody does anything is to brag. Brag positively or brag negatively. Either way, they're bragging. So the only reason somebody's going to buy your clothes is to brag. Give them a reason to brag. When we were talking to Antoinette earlier, I gave people a reason to brag about being part of her boss line. They're going to now brag. Oh my God, I just got recognized. I'm the hang in there of the week poster child. They're going to brag.
Okay.
The reason 40 of you are still here, because you know that the stuff really starts to come out after the first hour is over.
Mm-hmm.
Then we start getting into some good stuff. And then when we get into hour 2, it even gets more crazy. So the only reason anybody's going to do business with you, listen, the only reason I'm going to talk about Alex, for many reasons, but the biggest reason is I get to say I got the first Serbian who showed up on my call today. How the hell how does a Serbian find a boy from East Texas, from West Texas, Central Texas, where the hell I'm from? I don't know where I'm from.
Game recognized game.
Because somebody told a story and somebody told a story and somebody told a story and somebody told a story, and all of a sudden Alex shows up.
Right.
I get to brag on Alex. And if I did right by Alex, he gets to brag on me. He gets to brag on Rhonda for dang sure. So the only reason somebody's going to buy your clothes, give them a reason to brag. Give them
Okay.
So I would sign every piece if you could. If you have any way to that those items flow through your hand, the first 100 orders get a signed piece of clothing.
Okay.
Give them a reason to have a story. Give them a reason to become your advocate.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
See, you'll be back now because I just gave that to you, right?
Sean, I've been back for days.
I know.
I'm coming back all the time.
But every time you come, right? Last week, you got the most valuable thing you could have ever heard me say, right? About the labels.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was good up until today. Wasn't today better than that? That was
Yes,
great.
every day is better than the last day with you.
So my point is that you get to brag every day, don't you?
Yeah.
So am I fulfilling our contract that we have with each other to help you have more, do more, be more?
Yes.
Yeah. See, that's all we have to do with our prospects. Give them a reason to fall in love with us every single day. Be present enough to give them the answer they're looking for, not the solution they're not able to implement yet.
Oh, say it again, Sean.
Yeah. Give them the solution they're looking for today, not the solution that they need to implement that they don't have the skills or talents to do.
Okay.
See, if I told Antoinette to go write a book and to go create 3 best-selling books on Amazon right now, she probably has the capacity, the capability, and the skill set to do that. But that's not within her talent pool right now, that she needs to be able to bring value to her organization right now. You can sign pieces of clothing right now. You don't have to go build a global brand and have infrastructure, have a warehouse of 10,000 items already in stock with 75 SKUs. Just sign a damn piece of clothing and say, I'll sign it for you.
Okay, cool.
Do what we can do right now. Stop trying to worry about what you need to do 30 days from now. Do what you can do in the next 30 minutes, because it will change the world. Every one of you.
Thank you.
But your upline should be telling you that already. I'm sure they told you that already.
Sean, I've actually started my own business while I've been in the company, and I haven't really gotten much, any great job, you're doing a great job. I guess because I don't know, I feel like I'm such an affirmations person, but it's out of it's not in the business stuff that I'm doing, so they're like, oh well, you should be focused more on the business, not focused more on your
so
other stuff.
You want to know what the problem is with coming to my calls for most people? You know why 60 people left this call already?
Why?
Because they felt like they were cheating. They felt like they were cheating. They came here, but they got to get off here because they got to go home before somebody finds out they were cheating, because somebody's going to check the roll list over there and go, they're not on my call. That's what they're afraid of. See, if you're not in my business, y'all are cheating. Y'all are cheating on your mentor. You're having a torrid twist with a guy from Texas.
But I feel like it's the same thing that you said like earlier. I forgot who you said it to specifically, but that, you know, if you build up your just about, you know, the foreign exchange market, and that's the only thing that you do, and you stop doing that, then, you know, people are going to look at you like, what, you know, well, why am I following this person? When did you become this mental health advocate or whatever? So I've decided, you know, I decided a while ago that, you know, that's not the only thing that I want to do.
Right.
You know, I want to be able to showcase everything that I do, so that when people follow me, they're following me for me, not me for the business, you know, just the business that I'm in.
Yep.
So thank you for so much value. And Rhonda, you too, you're amazing. I haven't heard you talk very much lately. I love hearing
Thank you
talk.
so much. Everybody's been on a roll lately. I've actually been able just to sit back and listen. This has been quite entertaining. So,
yeah. Yes.
Thank you, though. I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Y'all are great.
And Laura, you're absolutely right. You are building people, so there is no cheating. But most people, when they come here and they ask for that business, and then they go, well, okay, so there's another call happening right now. We need to get off this one. Although this one is, there could be more here, but so I got to go. Cool. Gigi, where's my Gigi? There's my Gigi. Hello, Gigi.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, my dear.
How are you doing today?
Outstanding.
Okay, quick question.
Okay.
When did your like aha moments graduate to downloads?
Say one more time.
Like, when did the aha moments become downloads?
Well, an aha moment is a download.
Okay.
So the thing is that my downloads now are for you more than they are for me. So let me say that again in another way.
Mm-hmm.
My downloads are for you more than they are for me. Meaning I'm listening to you in this moment, and I hear what I should suggest to you. I hear what's being pulled out of my experience, out of my talent, out of my resources, out of my tens of thousands of hours of dealing with people, of hearing the essence with which you ask the question, to be able to give you an answer that you can implement now. So that's not an aha moment for me. That's a download. That's a pulling of resources. That's a sitting quietly and putting the question into Google and letting the 285,000 answers pop up. And sometimes you'll hear me walk through somebody and go, well, how about this one? How about this one? How about this one? How about this one? And usually it's asking you questions to get you to the answer that was in the question that you asked me. Because I hear your answer in your question. You want better answers, you got to ask better what? Questions. So the questions you ask, there's already the answers in the question. I just need to figure out, how do I listen and use my talent, the download that I get, to be able to communicate with you, to go back to speak your language. See, right now I'm speaking Gigi. A little bit ago, I was speaking Vach. Then I spoke the language of Alex. See, I understand, because I've built internationally, I understand what it is to have a conversation with a Serbian. There, right now in this source, no bullshit. I'm not good. Listen, we don't talk about the weather. We have these conversations. They're to the point. We got to get things done. And you could, what would sound like me just absolutely ripping your head off is a coffee conversation in Serbia. But you're like, whoa, hey, whoa, man, he sounds like they're just being really tough. That's how you have a conversation over there. You speak the vibration. Some of you are trying to speak the language and forget there's a whole vibration behind that. So long answer to your very powerful question is my ahas are when I'm in my meditation. My downloads are when I'm speaking to you to answer the question so it best serves you in the next 30 minutes.
Okay. Because yesterday I kind of had like a weird experience, but I don't really think anything's a weird experience now. I was like sitting outside and I saw a hawk. And when I saw the hawk, that's why I was like, I don't know if it was an aha or a download. That's why I got confused. But this like message just popped into my head. And it was kind of like a combination of messages I've been getting. Mm-hmm. But now that I finally put it together, like I felt like I was missing the last piece. But I was on a call yesterday And one of the leaders, he just kept saying, "You're it, you're it, you're it." And then like the whole message just came into my head that said, the time is now, get out of your way because you're it. And I'm like, I don't even know where that message came from.
So sometimes when you listen like that, that's both a download and an aha.
Mm-hmm.
Aha's take action. Download is, oh, that makes sense. I now understand what to do next.
Mm-hmm.
Does that help?
Yeah, but I don't know what to do next.
So ask. So now that I have this information, what would I do next?
Okay, Sean, what do I do next?
No, I'm saying you ask yourself that.
Oh, ask myself. Well, because
So there's two questions you could ask. What do I do next? Or what would be the opposite of what should I do next?
What should I not do next?
Yeah. So do you know what you shouldn't do next?
No.
So
Well, no. Yeah.
You got to answer either one of those questions. What should I do next or what should I avoid?
Okay.
Do you know what you should avoid? Are there some things you do that take you off your game, take you out of your path?
Yeah.
What would be one of them?
Letting myself get overwhelmed.
Okay. So you know what the beginning of overwhelm feels like.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start down the path of overwhelm, you're not at overwhelm yet, but you know, okay, I can see overwhelm coming. Do you know how to stop?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I would work on that.
Okay.
Cool.
Another question. Okay. This is more like business related. Part of me feels like I don't know where to start.
Okay.
And then that overwhelmed feeling starts to kick in because I'm like, okay, I want to do this. I should do that. I should do this. And then it's like, okay, I never start because I get overwhelmed.
Okay, so there's two places you can start, at the beginning or the end. Where would you choose?
The beginning.
Okay, so do you know what the beginning looks like?
No.
What's that?
No.
So would you say you're at the beginning right now or at the end?
At the beginning.
Okay, so then move forward towards the end. Do you know what the end looks like?
Yes.
Okay, so then just move in that direction and guess where you'll be starting from?
Where I am now?
The beginning.
Oh.
See, we come up with all these ways to convince ourselves we don't know what to do. You know exactly where you're at. Do you know where you're at?
Yes.
You're at the beginning. And here's the thing, you're going to only move in one of two directions. What are the two directions you're going to move towards the end? You're either going to move closer to it or
further away.
Yeah. So can you check in every hour and see if you've moved closer or farther away? And if you move farther away, guess what you get to do?
Change.
Yes.
Okay.
Why do you make things so simple, so difficult? No, I don't know. I'd ask yourself that question.
I ask myself that question too. I like to be in control, and right now I feel like I'm not in control.
Well, because you gave it up. Who'd you give it up? Who'd you give up control to?
Who did I give up control to?
Yeah.
I mean, God.
Well, if you decide who you gave up control to, you can decide if you want it back.
Yeah. I don't want it back because when I was in control, it wasn't good. I wasn't. Yeah.
Well, you were doing the wrong things while you were in control.
Yeah.
Don't fall under that ether. When it can be in control. You were just doing things other people told you. Now you get to do things you told you and you're afraid you're going to make the wrong decision. Well, you can be stuck there. But I'd start making some decision. And decision is the Latin to be cut off. Incision is to cut in. Decision is to cut off. Make a decision, cut off some old ideas. And check in every hour. Don't wait a whole day. Don't wait a whole month. In the next hour, did you move closer or farther? And how do you know if you move closer? The feeling. How do you know if you move farther? The feeling. And what feeling are you looking for? Misery or joy? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So there we go. I have a call I'm 6 minutes tardy for, but I'm going to show up at the exact right time. And when I show up, they're going to go, you're perfectly timed here. So I appreciate you all being here today. I'm Sean Murphy, your head misfit, founder of Mental Profits. Your thoughts create your income. I'll see y'all where? At the next event. Till then, bye for now. Y'all send some love.
Bye, y'all. Love y'all.
I love you guys.
Yeah, I love y'all.
Bye.
Thank you, Sean.
Everyone have a blessed day, my misfit family.
Thank you. Y'all have a
Bye
wonderful day.
bye.
Y'all stay
Love
safe.
all of you guys.
Bye, y'all.
Everybody have a joyous day.
Bye, y'all.
Love y'all. Bye.
Bye. Blessings.